Insurance process is multiple ways. There's different insurance companies, so every insurance company is different. Some insurance companies want you to have a contractor come out or roofing company to inspect before they send their own adjuster out. Some will send an adjuster out right away as soon as you make the call. And either way, if we go out and deem it needs to be replaced, or the adjuster goes out and deems it's replaced, then the insurance will essentially give a claim, and they will pay for that roof. Now, most customers that make an insurance claim, a lot of them are scared to make the claim because they're afraid that it's going to make their insurance go up. Let me tell you, it's going to go up whether you make a claim or not. It's all based off of area. So if 10 of your neighbors are getting roofs and you're not, you're still going to pay the same amount of premium increase as they are. It's all by region. So making a claim or not isn't going to hurt you. Now, it does go against you if you're making claims all the time for stuff that shouldn't be claimed, or it's kind of over abusing the insurance system. But to be honest, I mean, if your roof is hailed on, or your roof is damaged, or your siding is damaged, or your fascia is damaged, or gutters are dented, those are all claims, no different than your car if it got in weather, to get covered. So insurance will go out, they'll cut you a check, and it usually will be a partial. They're not going to give you all the money up front. And once the work's been done by a licensed contractor or roofer, they'll release the remainder of that money. And they call the main part of it actual cash value, and the recoverable part recoverable depreciation. So most insurance companies will write you a replacement policy. And the reason for that is, if you have a roof get damaged from hail and all of a sudden needs to be replaced, they cut you a check, and the roof's $15,000, you have a check for 10, and you don't have $5,000 in your bank account. Well, you're not getting a roof until you come up with $5,000, and that's not how that works. And they know that, so they're not going to leave you to turn around and have to pay that difference to get a roof, which could be 6 months, a year, 10 years from now. They want that roof replaced, and that's why it's called replacement cost. So that's why there's a premium. But with insurance, we work with insurance. You can, there's a lot of storm chasing companies that'll go around and they manage a lot of different aspects, whether siding, gutters, no different than contractors from the local area. They just don't reside in the area. They're from another part of the state, so they're usually temporary. They do help in storms where there is a lot of damage and you just can't get to everybody, so it leaves people not hanging and worried, and it does help a little bit, but you do have to find somebody very reputable. There's a lot of cases where you just get somebody you've never seen a company before, and they come in and they do even decent work, but when you do need that service later on and they reside 300, 800, 1,000 miles away, you're not going to get somebody out there in a couple of days to service you. Sure. Yeah, and definitely if we have customers we use it, it's even better because, one, we have an invoice, we have documentation of everything we put on that roof. I've got a claim currently right now. They're covering the whole thing. We did the roof back 7 years ago, and they're only allotting for starter on the very lower eaves of the house. We did starter on all the perimeter because there's no trees in the area. It's got a high wind load, and that's mainly to keep a tight seal on the edges. Insurance didn't pay for that, and they won't pay for that unless I show that material's there. So when we go to remove, or I pull up my invoice that I invoiced out to them the last time we did the insurance work, they will see that we installed that material, and therefore they will cover that. If it wasn't there, then they won't cover it. I have to show pictures and documentation that, yeah, we did put it in. And that's it. They'll cover it. So insurance it's not a lot of gray area other than, is the damage visible? I've been on roofs where the damage is not visible and the insurance bought the roof. I've been on roofs that the damage is visible and the insurance says it's not enough, or that's not hail damage. And it's through all insurance companies, more some than others, and it's based off the adjuster. It's not necessarily the company. Every adjuster has their own opinion. Some will put a stamp on it, some won't. When they do say the roof is covered and they do go ahead and write that roof up, they're going to give an estimate. That estimate is exactly what it is, an estimate. When I give you a piece of paperwork, it's going to be a proposal. The proposal has a price in it, and that price is the total price of your construction. Now, there usually some options on there like OSB plywood. So in case, let's say we tear off your shingles, there's some plywood that was damaged, not hail related, then insurance will not cover it. Hail related, then insurance will cover it. So the way that would work is if I tear off your shingles and there's a piece of plywood that was rotted, that's not covered. You will pay for that out of your pocket. And it's strictly in our proposal that says any plywood used outside of the roofing materials will be additional charge of $2 to $3 a square foot, depending on what type of plywood, size, thickness, and etc. So that's the difference. Insurance writes you an estimate. That estimate's exactly what it is. A lot of times they'll leave things off. They'll leave ice and water off. They'll have different sizes. I've had some of them leave whole sections of roofs off. So what that'll do is a customer gets an estimate. Total price for a new roof is $15,000. The estimate they got is for, let's just say, $12,000, and they only got a check for $8,000 up front. Some customers think that's all they have is $8,000. The other customer that knows the recoverable depreciation knows they only have $12,000. And if it costs $15,000 to do the roof, and they don't know why, they're going to shop that out to get the cheapest possible roof to fit in with that budget, and that's not good. Insurance will pay for what you have, like, kind, and quality. So that being said, you want to go with the roofer that you would like to use. Let them look at your insurance paper along with their proposal and compare item to item. And that's a lot of times how you'll find how they're missing ice and water barrier, or they're missing linear feet of something. Or if the price is higher than what your price is, sometimes they include things like gutter, or they include a window or a screen. And a customer thinks they're getting $20,000 for a $15,000 roof. And then when all said and done, when the invoice goes out, they get no recoverable depreciation because the roof is already done. They already got the depreciation for the roof, and they didn't do gutters, they didn't do siding, so that money goes away. So you really want to make sure that once you've selected a contractor that you want to work with, that you use your insurance paperwork with them to look at that estimate to make sure they're not missing things. Because if money's supposed to go to you to do your roof, then that's what you need. Typically, I go to a customer. You get some that think insurance paperwork is like top secret documents. They don't want to show you. I don't really need to see them. I can look at the size of their roof, all the angles, all the pitches, all the gutter lengths, everything. I can determine exactly to the penny of what insurance will have to pay for that roof. So if I roll into anybody's home with a proposal, it's going to match exactly what insurance has. If they have anything less than, then that means there's something missing on that insurance paperwork. Now, we are not perfect. I've gone out before, been short on a proposal or long on a proposal based off of maybe a miscalculation or a fool of a number. But we're talking an error, and very rare, but it does happen. But 99% of the run that I would go through a customer and sit down and go over them, I can show them line for line of what the insurance owes them. And it's not like the insurance is trying to get out of anything. It's just they're busy. A storm rolls through, they're trying to write up as many people as possible, and sometimes they miss things because not every roof's the same. You have a cedar shake roof, an architectural, a 3-tab, you have synthetic underlayments, you have your regular felt paper underlayments, you have different sizes of drip edge, you have different thicknesses of gutter material, you have different thicknesses of siding, different sizes of siding. Siding ranges anywhere from cost at $150 for just the bare material per square to up to $1,000 depending on what type of materials. So those variables happen every day on every insurance piece of paperwork. I've done many window jobs that a customer had Pella windows. The windows that we priced out were almost $40,000 and insurance was paying $6,000. But once I gave them the invoice or estimate of what it was going to cost for the like, kind, and quality of windows, the insurance had no problem paying for the exact Pella window that the customer had. Same with your car. If you go buy a car and it's a Cadillac and you wreck it, the insurance isn't just going to hand you over a Geo Metro. They're going to give you another Cadillac. I mean, it's like for like quality. And that's what some people just disconnect when it comes to roofing or weather claim on their house. But, the insurance definitely wants you to have a new roof, or at least a good quality roof, because they don't want to replace stuff inside. If that roof gets damaged and you start getting water damage from it, then therefore they're going to have to do more labor. So they want you to replace that roof, and they want your items to be protected inside. So.